you see. Got our pearls and our laughter too. The search for facts is always new. In this place we keep it real. Classy vibes and joyful zeal. Join the journey, it's just begun. We shine brighter than the sun.
Prima!
And share the vibe. Crush those pearls, let's take the ride. Helen's here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. Spreading truth is what we do. So hit subscribe and join the crew. With every search we pave the way. Together we will save the day. With every laugh we lift our hearts. In the search we all take part. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong.
I'm sorry, Maud.
Hit the light.
Mama the boss.
Crush those
13
pearls,
months.
let's take the
Thank you so
ride.
much.
Helen's here
Much
and
love, my
spread
dear.
the cheer. Members make the truth so clear. With every laugh, we lift our hearts. In the search, we all take part. Thank you all for standing strong. Together we belong. Hit the light and share the light. Crush those pearls, let's take the ride. Come in here and spread the cheer. Members make the truth so clear.
The pearls were bound together through the storm and darkest weather. We search high, we search low, together everywhere we go. Justin's here and he's going live with the best fans by my side. We're a family, we hold strong. Together we can right the wrong. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care. We clutch them pearls, we shine like stars. Searching wide, spreading love afar. Every stream, every heartfelt plea. We are one in this community. In the night or in the day, pearls will light and lead the way. Justin's heart and your support. Together we will hold the fort.
Thank you so much, Dawn. Welcome back, my love. Appreciate you.
Daily grind, but we're not stopping. Pearls around the world just popping. With each view and every share, we send hope and show we care.
Well, hello, hello, hello. Thank you all so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is April 18th, 2025. It is currently 3:37 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. So good to see you all, my beautiful friends. Have some breaking news coming out of Idaho right now. One of the suspects, Brandon Shurtliff from Idaho, related to the Michael Vaughan case, has been arrested. He has been arrested. But it is on unrelated charges. I'm going to explain this to you, what I believe this is about. What I believe this is about. So, Brandon Shurtliff has been arrested on unrelated charges. He had warrants out, and he's had warrants out for quite some time. Mod says, I feel like LE were following him. They certainly were. Remember, Cat B, that's exactly what I'm getting to. Guys, I have Pearl here, so I might have to turn off the camera because she might yank the camera and all that. So, but they remember we did the live the other day, and they said he had 48 hours to make the deal if he wanted to do the plea deal. And the plea deal was, we will take death sentence off if you take the deal, tell us where Michael Vaughan is, affectionately known as Monkey. And there's that. So we know that people around Brandon, cops, were talking to them, and they were they were talking to them and all that. So they picked Brandon up on his warrant. Now, in my opinion, the reason they picked him up on this is because Brandon is a runner. Brandon likes to run. He likes to go out of state and all of that. So while they knew where he was, they picked him up on it. So they can keep him up in that clink until they get ready to press the charges for Michael Vaughan. So we know that he runs to at least 3 or 4 different states, has over the last 4 years or so. So there's that. All right, let's get to some things. Let me pull up my email here real quick. I see you. Did you get that email or that text I sent you? Did you send it to my email? I don't have anything from you, darling. All right, we'll get to that in just 1 second. We've got where we keep track of him whenever, if he ever gets arrested or anything like that. Also, I think PNW, yep, she put out a video. Let me give PNW some credit here, guys. Follow PNW. I know a lot of you guys did the other day when I asked you guys to sub up to her. She is such an underrated channel, in my opinion. She is so good on this case, and she's just continually been on Michael's case. Do me a favor, y'all. Hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly appreciate it. If we get to 1,000 thumbs up, we have a chicken party. Guys, I'm getting ready. Just a little side note here. I'm getting ready to we're going to start doing some new things on the channel. I hope you guys will like it. So just be ready for that. And you guys are going to be involved as always. So just a little teaser there. In about a week or so, I still have to refresh your phone. I sent it again. I'm on my computer. You sent it to the All Justice for you? Let me just make sure. Bear with me 1 second as I check this. Okay, now I got it. Now I got it. Thank you so very much. All right. So, here we go. One second. Okay, here we go. Sorry, I'm getting a bunch of things in. All right, here we go. Here's Brandon's record stuff coming in. This is live, so it's breaking, so gotta give me a second, y'all. Brandon's 32 years old. Custody date April 18th. He was picked up at 4:05 local time this morning. 4:05 Mountain. I guess that's Mountain time, isn't it? Something like that. 1 second. All right, sorry about that. So here we go. And in custody, scheduled release date, it says April 21st, 2025. I would just about bet you, in my opinion, that he will not be released on the 21st. They may be trying to get him in there to wear him down, perhaps, as well. You know, they have their tactics, whatever they have to do to get him to talk as well. Yes, it is time to start talking. This is the first time that I'm aware of him being arrested in the past 4 years. Now, over the last 4 years, Stacy and Sarah have been in and out of jail a lot of the time. Particularly Sarah. Stacy's been out a little bit more than Sarah, but they go in and out all the time. He is in Idaho. Yeah. And let's see here. He's got, what did they pick him up on? Driving careless. Or reckless kind of thing. Controlled, sorry, this was from 7/5/2024. Driving careless, inattentive. Also driving inattentive or careless. Controlled substance marijuana possession. He pled not guilty. Also drug paraphernalia or possession with intent to deliver. And all of that. He only had like a $300 fee on that. Let's see here. Complete. He had 16 hours of what was it, 16 hours, whoops, 1 second, of community service. But we're going to get to more of this. I think, let me pop this one up. Here we go. Credit goes to P&W. We love this girl. Can y'all drop P&W's link in chat? Guys, please sub up to her.
Samantha from Missing PNW, and I've got great news before my vacation. Brandon Shurtliff was arrested 4/18/25 at 3:45 a.m. His scheduled release date says 4/21/2025. We'll see if that happens. I think law enforcement's going to come pick him up. I don't know what you guys think, but I am hoping and praying he's picked up there and isn't released. It was for his warrant that was for his arrest in, what is it, Kootenai County Sheriff's Office. The arresting officer was C. Ryan. He was 5500 North Government Way. The arrest date was 4/17/2025 at 10:53 p.m. So it actually looks like the incarceration happened late last night. The offense description here is driving inattentive or careless. So it sounds like he was driving a little bit erratic or something, speeding, I'm not sure. But Brandon Shurtliff is in jail. Hallelujah. I'm going to enjoy my vacation so much more knowing he is behind bars. I hope
Yes, Samantha. That's a great way to start your vacation, Samantha, because you've definitely worked so hard. Yes. Yep. Same place as Coburger. Now, Brandon has obviously, or allegedly, not obviously, but allegedly rather, had, suffered with substance issues over the so many years. And from what I understand, that kind of comes and goes with him. But I think someone would have to be out of their mind or on drugs and out of their mind to do something as heinous as unaliving a 5-year-old, abducting, murdering, and concealing a 5-year-old child. So remember what is alleged, what role he is alleged to have taken place, which was, if you were here the other day, trigger warning, he was the one that allegedly took Michael into his mother's home while she was on vacation, along with Sarah and Stacy, and put a garbage bag over Michael Vaughan's head until he could no longer sustain life. You've got to be, and let me tell you something, he's a father. Yes, Bear. He's a father. And he was around so many kids. No, ma'am. Come on, get in the pouchy. Get in the pouchy. I want to keep my camera on for our viewers, your aunties and uncles. Okay? So he should not be a father. He should not be. Well, listen, the justice system's coming. Justice is coming. And Brandon, while you're in there, what you need to do is tell where Michael is. Brandy is very, very, very sick. Let her know where her son is. I want to play something that JLR did an interview with him long time ago. And I want you to hear his account of what happened the day. Because, you know, you hear... Oh, 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. There goes my camera. I'm not careful. She's a mess right now. I might need to take her downstairs and put her in her room. But you hear different people's accounts, right, of what happened that day. Brandon's account and Stacy's account are two of... Let me fix this. Sorry, guys. Two of the most different. Not even close. Not even close together. Am I going to hide eggs from her? You can't hide anything from her, Lisa. You can't hide anything from this little girl. Nothing from this little mama. Nothing. Nothing from this little sugar mama. Nothing. Here. She wants to play something. She wants to play something. You're not getting my microphone cover. You're not getting it. No. Watch her. She'll shake her head now. Watch this. She is. Go play. Come on. She's a mess. All right. Okay. Here we go. All right. Without further ado, let's get it started. Up in here. Here she comes again. Let me play something, guys. Because this is very interesting what he said. Remember, this is the only interview Brandon has done except with Samantha recently. But I always believe that in the beginning of when someone goes missing, or, you know, it's always best to hear from the beginning. So, here we go. Credit will be provided in the description using this under the Fair Use Act of 1976 for commentary, criticism, research, news reporting, or education. You'll be hearing my opinions in this commentary. I would like to hear yours.
On July 27th, 2021, the day Michael was reported missing. Where were you guys at in the morning?
Okay, so earlier that day, I spent the night there because we came in towing my car from my mom's to their house. And we came back over there, and then right as soon as we were
Hold on.
I spent the night there because...
In the morning.
Listen to that.
Okay, so earlier that day, I spent the night there because we came in towing my car from my mom's to their house. And we came back over there, and then right as soon as we were getting the car back to the neighborhood, the whole neighborhood was on high alert looking for the little boy, Michael Vaughan. And they said he went missing right that day earlier, right before we came in with the car we were towing.
Now, he's making this sound like it's that morning or earlier that day. They didn't wheel up back into that neighborhood until after, I think, 10 p.m. that evening. So let that sink in. He goes backwards. Exactly, Kelly Dunn. Exactly. Yes. He completely does.
And then right as soon as that happened, I went out and tried to look for the kid with Sarah. We got in her little Toyota car and drove to the gas station and drove around after we got out of the pickup.
So imagine this. He's saying they go to his mom's house, get the car, tow it back, and after they tow it back, they come into, Sarah and Stacy's neighborhood, and the cops and the neighbors and everyone are everywhere. And they've realized that there's a child missing. So he says him and Stacy, or Sarah rather, go looking for this child, when in fact prosecutors and the state alleges rather that no, they had just came back from abducting this child, taking him to his mother's house. She was out of town, and they get home late that night, and then they start looking allegedly for this lost child. Now, in my opinion, I think they're flipping the hell out at this point, to be quite honest with you, that they're just flipping out, and they are going around the neighborhood to see what people know. That's what they're doing. They're going around the neighborhood, in my opinion, to see what people know. Right? That's what they would want to do. Ooh, do they have any suspects? Do they know what they were driving? Yep.
And then tried to look in the field to see if he went down by the river or if he could be out just wandering lost. And, that's what hit my mind first. And then from there, it was me and Sarah. We went to the gas station, got some milk, and then did this and that and came back. And then right when we got back, Carson had his pickup next door with a light bar.
Now, this is... Yeah, I'm definitely multitasking right now, Kimberly. He says, we did this and that, right? We did this and that. Well, if he did this and that, when someone says we did this and that, or yada, 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 or so on and so forth, they're usually leaving out a big, big part. And boy, was he ever.
On it. Mm-hmm. So I said, hey, we need to start this up and kind of go look in the neighborhood and the farmer field and the river. We got to go find this missing person report that just came out, So that's what was on my mind right when it happened. But earlier, before that day, before we towed the car, we went to Applebee's. And
what time was that?
That was earlier in the day after we woke up and had breakfast and watched TV and coffee. And then we went, me and Sarah and one of her other friends that was there visiting for like a week or so because he came in from the airport. He wanted to go visit his family over by Nampa area somewhere, by the Karcher Mall.
Now, the friend that they are talking about is Adrian Lucien. And he is one of the suspects. And in my opinion, they weren't out doing all of this that day. They were out literally hunting for a child. Hunting for a child. Think about that.
Who was that?
Oh, that's Adrian.
Is that the Adrian Hernandez?
No, that's a different guy. Adrian Hernandez, I was locked up and incarcerated with him at the Canyon County Jail earlier this year. And he was just there for like some kind of a court.
Again, for those of you that's just joining us, Brandon Shurtliff has been arrested. However, he has not been arrested for Michael Joseph Vaughan. However, I would expect those two charges to be pending in the next few days. I think that they brought him in so he wouldn't run. Maybe they got a tip that he was going to run. And they thought, maybe now we need to just go ahead and arrest him on these warrant charges. All right.
Okay, so he couldn't have them.
So he couldn't give her a child then.
Right, and he wanted a kid.
Hold on 1 second.
No.
I don't know. I think he just randomly like called their phone where I was staying over there with the Wondras. They live like diagonal.
Yeah. What about the okay.
Sorry,
yeah,
guys.
I got so many.
With the thing, I gotta fix
Where,
this.
where you were seeing people out there looking for Michael, or you were seeing police?
I was just seeing police cars cruising around, and I was seeing a lot of like the neighbors going out in their cars cruising around, and just like the whole subdivision from the left side to the right side. They were all just out, everybody walking around and looking and flashlights, searching around.
He's talking about the night they were all looking for Michael. And remember, this was very, very close. Pretty much, in my opinion, the same neighborhood, even though it's like technically two different neighborhoods, but there's a street that separates one neighborhood from the next. Very, very close. It's usually someone close, even if it is a stranger abduction, but stranger abductions are extremely rare.
Rescue was there, police,
Michael's one of the
everything.
few.
But how did you know they were looking for Michael?
Because so when we were pulling into the subdivision, Sarah was driving the pickup, and she stopped and talked to the neighbor that was coming down the road the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
And she stopped right there in the middle of the road, and they both opened their doors and they started talking to each other right there.
Okay. And you told me you never seen Michael Vaughan before in your life prior.
Right. I never met him or his parents ever before. I just know that they're neighbors of where I was staying over there with the Wondras. They live like diagonal.
Yeah.
He's trying to distance himself.
Yeah. What about the okay. Yeah, I got so many questions. All right. So Adrian, where's he from?
I think he's from California somewhere.
So, but
Adrian, he travels usually from Ohio to California, but I know he was in DC for a while and all of that. He's a vagabond, to say the least. He comes from a very good family, though. Adrian comes from a good family. And his mom died just a few years ago. His sister, she is a big social media influencer. She is a rather I don't want to say famous, but she's pretty popular in the modeling genre.
how did he get up there? Like,
Beautiful woman.
How did he end up there in Idaho?
He just flew in from California to come see his son and his old girlfriend or whatever.
He's literally nothing like Adrian is like nothing like his family.
But where did Sarah meet him? Like, how does she know him?
I don't know. I think he just randomly like called their phone one day from the airport and said, can you give me a ride from here to there or whatever? And that's probably how those two met.
Yeah, because, obviously, Sarah, according to this arrest affidavit, she's claiming that this Adrian guy helped bury Michael in her yard. That's what she said, according to the arrest affidavits, or the neighbors. She also said the neighbor's yard, too.
Right.
So
yeah,
people are wondering, who's Adrian?
Yeah, he's just some kid that came here from California for a little bit to visit his son and his old girlfriend.
Did he get
That's what I-
arrested at all?
No, he didn't get arrested or talked to or nothing.
So how long was he there at their house for?
He was only there for like a week up to 2 weeks tops.
After Michael went missing?
After Michael went missing, I'm pretty sure he was there for like a couple days after that.
He says a couple days after that. Now, because so it was Stacy and Sarah. They stayed in Sarah's parents' home. They owned that home. It was like a second home of theirs. And they lived there. They were constantly trying to find ways to make different money. They were trying to make money all the time. And they had a lube, an oil place for a minute. They lost that because they got in an argument with the building owner over a shop vac. And they had a clothes washing service, and they also had a taxi service. And they would just do random things, and they would hire really drug addicts, people down in their luck, people on the fringes of society at the time. And Sarah would end up manipulating them, sleeping with them, and really making them all jealous, really, in my opinion, to serve her. She's a very twisted person, if you ask me.
As well.
Okay, so he was there about a week and a half prior to Michael being missing. Then Michael went missing, and then a couple days later, he goes back to California.
Good to see you, love.
I think so, yeah.
Do you know where in California?
I have no idea.
You're in a hot tub. I see you're in a hot tub. What's that, the North Dakota life?
Yeah, that's the North Dakota life, trying to stay warm out here right now.
Yeah. Interesting. So interesting. Now, did you know?
Now, this is in either North Dakota or South Dakota when this interview took place. And Brandon is in the hot tub. It's the infamous hot tub. He's at his father's house because he knew law enforcement was looking for him. At this time, they wanted to speak with him. So he ran to Daddy's house so he could drink beer, be a child unaliver, in my opinion, and sit in a hot tub and not face any consequences for nearly 4 years.
That like Stacy had like crazy criminal record in the past of being in the feds and locked up and all that kind of stuff. Did you know that?
Yes, sir. Yeah, he talked to me previously before that, and he said that he got locked up for like a year or two because he lied on a federal application to buy a gun or something at a store.
So you
want to talk about a person that makes the dumbest decisions is Stacy Wondra. They are always into something. Stacy has a fascination with pew-pews. Well, once you're a felon, you cannot own pew-pews. And that is what originally got him back in jail. He lied on an application, and then he also, that was previous, and then he had a pew-pew. Well, his wife, Sarah, got mad at him and turned him in. Said, my husband has a pew-pew. He's a felon. So when that happened, Stacy went to jail. Well, when Stacy went to jail, he was mad at Sarah. And then I think that is when he was like, okay, he thought he was going to play smart. And he told about Michael Vaughan. About Michael Vaughan. Come here, you. So when that happened, he thought he was going to keep himself out of it. But there was no way he was going to keep himself out of it because he was involved in it. And so he ended up telling on them, saying, I don't know, I wasn't involved. Thinking he was going to get a deal. So they went to Sarah's house where Sarah and Stacy was living. And that's when they came and they knocked on Sarah's door and they said, Sarah, we're here to check the backyard to see if Michael Vaughan is in the backyard. And that's when she said, my God told me that Stacy killed that boy, meaning Michael Vaughan. She had this premonition all of a sudden when the police showed up.
Seen him with guns. Like, why would he still have guns if he already got arrested for it? Did he just not care? Or?
I think that was it or something. Because at first he said, hey, I know that you're not a felon and you can have guns. Do you want me to try to find you a gun? And I said, no, I already have a gun. I don't need to get another one, you know. But if you are selling that other little 17 or whatever, I'll buy it if I get money from you guys paying me from doing taxiing, you know. That was our first previous conversation.
Yeah. So,
well, I mean, Gail says, Justin, do you know why they haven't been arrested yet? Is it because Monkey hasn't been found yet? I mean, I think that is possibly part of it. I mean, they're saying that they're going to take off the death penalty. Now, they would have to have a lot of evidence to have the death penalty. So, you know, I don't know if they can do the death penalty if they don't have his remains, to be honest with you. But hopefully they can. Brandy wants his body more than anything. Yeah. She wants him to be in a place where she can visit and everyone can pay their, you know, respects. And so when the time comes, she can be buried right beside him.
Yeah, I wonder why he was so interested in you getting a gun. You know, like why does he want others to get a gun? Is he like fascinated with guns?
Yeah, I think he comes from a background where like him and his grandpa used to hunt back in the day before he got in trouble. Like when he went out with other people that were.
I know, like law enforcement has been ready for quite some time. I think it's really been the DA, to be quite honest with you. I think it's been the DA that's kind of been holding up. But I think that's obviously changing now. So we'll see. No body cases get conviction all the time. Any example? No, I know that they do, but what about for death? Being sentenced to death? You know, there's a lot of there's a ton more scrutiny with a death penalty case. It is way different. Way different.
Responsible. He probably did some hunting.
So some people are saying that does Sarah have any kids that you knew of or had kids?
No, sir.
See, some people speculated that if Sarah is involved and she got arrested, but people are speculating, hey, maybe Sarah did it because she wanted a kid on her own because she couldn't have kids, or, you know, what do you think?
I'm going to tell you something. Stacy and Sarah should not take care of a pet rock. They are not capable of taking care of a pet rock. They have no ability to take care of anything living. And I mean anything living. I would suggest that grass, flowers, and trees not even grow in their yard. They're terrible.
Hold on just a second here. I'm in an interview right now, so I'm gonna have to do this real quick. I think that she couldn't have kids because her husband Stacy said that he got his nuts crushed in a bull riding rodeo accident or whatever, blah blah blah. He said he used to bull ride and a bull stepped on his thing and crushed it, so he couldn't have him.
So he couldn't give her a child then.
Right, and he wanted a kid and she really didn't.
Oh, she didn't want a child.
No, she didn't really want to have a kid, but he was trying to push that on her.
So is it possible? Okay, so you're with Sarah and you're with Adrian out or getting your car and bringing it back. Is it possible Stacy?
Now he says that Stacy wanted a kid, but I think it was more Sarah, because she's the one that gets on these tangents. But he may have wanted a kid. I don't know. I really
was home left alone and did something and maybe like went out and snatched Michael. I mean, how do you do you guys know about Stacy's whereabouts at the time?
I personally don't. So I'm saying that could be a possibility.
Because there was no one else there with him, correct?
Right. Yes, sir.
But you're saying that you were with Sarah all that day. You and Adrian and Sarah were all together throughout that.
Okay, so here he's kind of throwing Stacy under the bus more. He's saying I was with Sarah all day. He's more throwing Stacy under the bus. There was a point during that day where Stacy was alone by himself doing things. I think he was out hunting for a kid, and I think they were as well.
That whole day, starting in the morning, and you didn't she didn't go off on her own or do anything.
No, I was with Sarah that whole day and Adrian, and then Stacy was left home alone.
Stacy was left home alone. What there when you guys were out? What cars were there with Stacy?
I think he had his little Cadillac Escalade that he cruised around at that time.
What color was that?
It was a white one.
They had an old white Cadillac Escalade, and they had a Toyota car. And get this, literally next door to where they lived, there are child registered S offenders, 2 that live right beside of them. And they did kind of blame them as well, that they might be involved or whatever. Law enforcement has never came out and said that, but Tina, planting your garden, good. But nothing would surprise me. I don't find that a coincidence, to be quite honest with you. I really don't at all.
Older one that he traded his pickup in for, that when that pickup started to have a couple issues, instead of getting it fixed, he just traded it in.
Yeah. See, because he's left alone and no one else is there with him. I wonder if he ventured out. Yeah. Okay. For instance, when you guys got back, was he in the house?
Yeah, he was in there. He was in there on the couch. I'm pretty sure.
What was he doing?
Just watching TV.
Like he never even went anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, because he's left alone. It seems like you three have it. You guys are each other's alibis, I guess. And you're saying you did whatever throughout the day, and I appreciate you talking to me. I mean, somebody that would be guilty wouldn't be telling all this in a sense, But people just want answers.
Yeah, and I want answers too. I don't think Adrian.
I don't agree with that at all.
But Stacy, I know that sometimes he's lied to me and he's lied to others, and he's.
Let me tell you something. They are all 4 of them are liars. All 4 of them, flat out liars. The only person we really haven't heard from in 4 years like at all is Adrian. I mean, we have a little bit, but he's the one that's been the most quiet.
Done. He says he'll do something and then he really don't do it. And I got after him about that, and I was trying to teach him that you're not supposed to do that in life, and then he'll get sometimes mad at me, So that's where my trail kind of ends, and that's where I'm kind of curious in my own head.
Also, remember, Brandon is staying there. He is sleeping with Sarah, Stacy's wife at the time. They're sleeping together. And so Stacy knows about it but he's kind of not liking it. And Sarah tells Stacy that she's sleeping with him. And she makes like excuses of why. It's just a big bunch of nasty. If you have seen Brandon's girlfriend right now, holy shit. Oh my God. If you see her, she's very much like a Candace Wells, Brandon's new girlfriend. She's got, I think, 3 or 4 children, all boys, I believe, and doesn't have any of them. They were all taken away at either birth or a young age. And like she's got that meth look. You know what I'm talking about? That she's young, but she's rode hard, put up wet look. She don't wear her teeth most of the time. She wears like a real heavy eyeliner, and it's usually on her eyes for like a week at a time. One of those, and it's like stained under your eyes, and she doesn't have her teeth in, and yeah, real.
And I with Stacy, I'd like to talk to him personally, and if he was here right now, I'd be talking with him and say, hey, I know you and me didn't.
Yes, there was a rumor going out that she was pregnant with twins with Brandon's kids, if you will, and she allegedly miscarried. I hope she never gets pregnant again. Don't bring children into the world when you can't take care of them, and you're going to cause them grief at such a young age, bouncing them around from this place to that place, this to that, until they are taken away from you and psychologically never the same. It does something to children. It does something to them. I've done foster care. I did foster care for 11 years. I can tell you, it does something to them when they are removed. Most of the time. They love their parents, even if they're the biggest pieces of, but it does something to them. Don't screw them up.
I know that you broke my watch, and you thought I wanted to steal your girl or this or that, but that was all accusations. It's not true. I was just there to help you guys work, make a business, and pay the bills. That was my whole objective.
So he was accusing you of trying to get with Sarah?
Yes, sir. Like every day.
Every day. But he didn't kick you out of the house?
Brandon,
because she liked me.
You were.
Because I was kind of the cool guy on the block, hanging out, trying to save the day. And he got a little bit jealous of it, and I wanted to kind of shut that down and say, hey, we're all friends. You keep your wife. You guys get along. and you guys stopped doing that, kind of like a counselor or a mediator.
Thank you,
Was he
Mod.
ever like? Did you ever see him do any violence?
No. He pretended to try to be a tough guy, try to do that kind of stuff, but he never did it when I was around.
He's a pretty big dude.
He's a heavy feller. He's like 50.
Yes, Spirit Seeker did a live the other day. She says she's a full POS. I've never said the F-bomb so many times in a live stream as I did when Tammy and I reviewed her interview. She left me speechless otherwise. Spirit Seeker, please drop your channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Y'all make sure you sub up to Spirit Seeker. She does a lot on Michael Vaughan case as well. And she goes live sometimes. And what did she say the other day again? Spirit Seeker, his girlfriend, and we were like, "You dirty bitch." I think JLR was just saying that so he would talk more. Of course, absolutely. That's why he was saying that. Absolutely. Like when I had Stacy up here, I had to not be a threat toward him. I had to, play the part. That's called building rapport, right? That's what law enforcement does when they're interviewing you. They don't want to talk about the case in the beginning. They want to talk about you and getting you comfortable. And that's what they do. They're building
500
rapport.
pounds.
So, I mean, if you see him walk, does he get tired when he walks a short distance?
Thank you, my dear.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's interesting. So because he's left alone, you guys are out. Michael Vaughan goes missing around, we'll say 7 p.m. And, what happened? Where was Starkey? Where was Carson Starkey?
I think he was driving for another company at that time because he was mad at Sarah and Stacy because they were kind of trying to give him a little bit of bluff or a little bit of grief, and he was like, you know what, I can go work somewhere else or be
Carson is the guy next door, one of the RSOs.
part of somebody else. I don't have to sit here and take your guys' nonsense.
So, interesting. What about the Cesar Garudo? What's the deal with him? Is he involved? Could he be involved? Was he around their house?
I know that he went to their house like one time. Other than that, me and Stacy went to his house one time.
Yeah. That's it. Brandon's girlfriend the other day, get a load of this. She said Brandon is a sweet, innocent little boy too. Brandon may have been a sweet, innocent little boy when he was a boy, but what this man did was take a life of a sweet, innocent little boy. He is not little, and he is not a little boy. He is a child murderer, in my opinion. And I do believe the state will absolutely prove that all four of them arranged, abducted, transferred, unalived, buried, dug up, reburied, and hidden Michael Joseph Vaughan, a 5-year-old, sweet, innocent little boy who didn't even start kindergarten yet, who liked bugs and butterflies and frogs and to play outside, and loved his mom, loved his dad, loved his siblings. And you took that. And let me tell you something, Brandon. Brandy and the family, they're not getting Michael back the same way that he left on that hot July evening in Idaho. He's coming back in a box because of you. The only giggles from him that she will ever see again in this life, at least, is in her mind and in video. What was the point of it? Why? What was the motivation to abduct a child? There has to be a motivation. And I don't understand why anybody thinks that it's going to work out for them. Sweet Monkey wanted to play outside. That's all. He was looking for someone to play with him when they abducted him. Yes. And how many of us, when we were kids, we would go to our neighbor's house or try to find someone to play with us on the street, right? See if our friends wanted to play during the summertime. That was the best times. You don't think some weirdos are going to pick you up and do this to you. Put yourself as that 5-year-old child. Imagine some stranger looking up and then reaching down to get you, putting you in a vehicle. You don't know where you're going. You don't know what's happening, and you just want your family. And then the unthinkable happens. He needs to confess. Brandy has even said the person that says where Michael is, she will ask for more leniency on. I don't know if that evening he was put in the house and they came and, he was put in the house, but I don't know if they ended his life that evening or if he was kept around for a while and then unalived. Either way, it shouldn't have happened. You don't take something that is not yours. A life is not yours. It is not yours to take. You can't do that.
And he had a couple other friends over there, and they were just kind of hanging out and chilling with a couple other people.
But Cesar was not around the house the time Michael went missing.
As best as I know, yeah, that's true.
Interesting. So you never seen Michael. Have you ever hear Sarah or Stacy talk about the Vaughns or mention the Vaughns or say anything?
Never.
Thank you, Don Grandma 3, honey.
The only time I heard them ever mention the Vaughns is when they stopped the car that day and they said, "Hey, there's somebody that's missing in the neighborhood. His name's Michael Vaughan. Do you guys know him or know where he went?" That was the first time that came.
Do you see the way he says that? He says it in a different tone. Hey, there's a kid missing in the neighborhood. His name is Michael Vaughan. So his voice changes. He's lying there. That's a lie. Just like, in my opinion, in Sebastian Rogers' case, when KK says he went to bed, I don't believe it. Don't believe it. Or she says, where the F is he? He's not in this effing house. That they reflect with their voice. No, listen to that again. Listen how his voice changes.
Never once. Not even. The only time I heard them ever mention the Vaughns is
Right
when
here.
they stopped the car that day and they said, "Hey, there's somebody that's missing in the neighborhood. His name's Michael Vaughan. Do you guys know him or know where he went?" That was the first time that came up to my attention. And then,
You hear that? Big difference.
as far as I know, they both said, no, we don't know where he's at. Let's go help look for him from that point.
Interesting. Yeah. Man, I'm so scatterbrained here because it's just a mystery. It's a mystery.
It is. That's all it is right now at this point. Yeah.
But you're assuring, like, if the Vaughns were watching right now, what would you say to Michael Vaughn's family?
I would say, don't lose hope. Keep your head up, keep your chin up, and know that he might still be out there somewhere, because they never brought him into their house when I was there. Not once. No little kids ever even came into that house, and I was there like a good majority of the time running a taxi.
That is a lie. Flat out lying right there. In my opinion. Flat out lying.
Business. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And the people that I knew that was there, they seemed like they were all right, decent people that weren't trying to do that. They were just trying to have normal everyday lives, you know?
So, what's your family think about what's going on? Did you tell them?
Yeah, I told them. The police and the detectives and everything, they've been at my mom's house since I've been gone, doing like sighting in Montana.
That's right. They went to Brandon's mom's house. Remember, she was out of town whenever they abducted Michael Vaughan, drove from Fruitland to Kuna. I think it's Kuna, right? Which is about, what, 45 minutes, an hour away. Brandon was not supposed to be in the house because Brandon's mom knows that was strung out on drugs and that he likes to take things that doesn't belong to him. But he went in the house anyways and put Michael in the home. Police came there later. They brought cadaver dogs. Cadaver dogs did hit on or around his mother's home.
And stuff, trying to pay bills, and they're beside themselves and just scared and freaking out. Don't know what's happening, what's going on.
So, do you feel like the detectives think you're involved, or they just want to ask you more about the Wondras? What is the detectives' reasons of coming to you?
I think they want to find out more about like the Wondras and their lifestyle, of how they are and what they do. And I'm probably the best guy to ask because I was there around them the most at that time.
Did you feel detectives think you did something, or was it, were they hard on you and questioning? Were they making you feel like you're guilty of something?
Well, they were pretty stern. You know, they wanted to get to the bottom of it, and they kind of interrogated me, and they were pretty rough and aggressive with it. And I said, "Listen, guys, I didn't do it at all. And if they're saying that this happened and that they did it, they know more about it than I did." Because
now they had already named him as a suspect at this point.
Because when I was around them, they didn't act that way.
He was running.
So they're like, okay. And then from there, it's just been kind of like, they hit me hard and I told them everything I know. And then it's been a stale fish, a standstill. And we're just trying to see like who all was even at that point in time in history.
So you're not nervous at all? Are you
Yes,
nervous about
Emily.
being arrested at all or anything?
Yeah, that definitely crosses my mind every day, you know, and I know that if I go back to Idaho, I'll be arrested immediately, and you know they're gonna talk about me about my marijuana charges.
Well, that happened today. Today, Brandon has been arrested because of unrelated charges, but I don't believe he's going to be released Monday. I think charges will hopefully come. Hey, Triggered, honey, how are you? Good to see you. I think charges will come on or before then, and hopefully for the murder of Michael Joseph Vaughan, a 5-year-old boy. Wait, go back where? Right here?
And I was pretty rough and, you know, aggressive with it, and I said, listen guys, I didn't do it at all, and if they're saying that this happened and that they did it, they know more about it than I did, because when I was around them, they didn't act that way. So they're like, okay. And then from there, it's just been kind of like, they hit me hard and I told them everything I know, and then it's been a stalefish, a standstill. And we're just trying to see like who all was even at that point in time in history.
So you're not nervous at all? Are you nervous about being arrested at all or anything?
Yeah, that definitely crosses my mind every day, you know, and I know that if I go back to Idaho, I'll be arrested immediately, and you know they're going to talk about me about my marijuana.
He has ran for 4 years from, if it's not North or South Dakota, it is Montana or Wyoming, I can't remember, and then he'll come to Idaho quietly.
Charges, probably do 20-30 days in jail myself if I go back, and then from there.
So you have pending charges in Idaho?
Yeah, I have pending charges in Idaho just from probation and like possession of marijuana, and that's what I was in trouble with. Those.
Brandon's young. He's what, 30? He was, doesn't do 22. He's what? I can't remember how old he is. He's not. It's what, 32?
Those guys before.
I appreciate your honesty
32.
with that. Appreciate your honesty. Yeah. So you're not going to go back in there and try to settle it, or do you think they're going to extradite you? Try to scoop you up there where you're at?
I think for now it's just a basis of I need to get back to work and get some money because I still owe them money on those charges.
Yeah.
So I
don't think he got married.
Trying to get to work because the other people I was working for, it was hard to get paid and pay all my bills on time. So I'm just trying to find a solution.
Now, remember, he's talking about the people I work for is hard to get paid and all that. Remember, the guy that he worked with recently just came up on P&W's panel, and Brandon was friends with him. Now their friendship is kind of strained because of this, because his boss or coworker, I don't know if it's boss or coworker, feels obviously betrayed. You know, you don't think you can, someone who's going to murder a 5-year-old, or at least be involved with it.
Solution to make it peaceful for everyone and kind of find out what's going on here and get to the bottom of it. That's what's on my mind right now.
Did detectives ask you about any other names besides the Wondras? They say any names?
The biggest names that are coming up right now on this is Stacy, Sarah, Adrian, that Garudo. Yeah, Caesar, Garudo, and me.
Now, Caesar, I always forget about him. I always forget about that dude. Caesar was another one that was at their house. Does he say himself here?
Me and Garudo. Yeah, Caesar, Garudo, and me, and I think that's it from that very day.
Okay, so he admits himself that he's, one of the ones that law enforcement were looking at the time. That's interesting. Now, Caesar, I've got pictures of Caesar. Law enforcement has not named him publicly, but they have named Sarah, Stacy, Adrian, and Brandon, and they say, and others who may be involved or no.
No mention of Starkeys.
The Starkeys, I know that they had previous charges from stuff, whatever they did in their life before. I don't even know.
Thank you so much, Nina. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Thank you so much. Thank you, my love, for your super sticker.
Yeah, they said that they went to their house and asked them. They asked Mr. Carson Starkey and his mother that was hanging out there, and they questioned Dorothy, his ex-wife, that she can't really hear that good. She has to write everything down on paper and what she heard or seen or knows or anything like that. So I know.
Wow, I did not know that, Spirit Seeker. Caesar is a big POS RSO of the worst kind. What was up with those two houses? Oh my God. Oh my God. I pray to God Michael did not have to go through any of that stuff. I pray to God. Oh my God. That's crazy. Oh, thank you, Spirit Seeker, for gifting a pearl necklace. Very kind of you, my dear. Thank you so much, my dear. If you receive that pearl necklace, make sure you give our beautiful Spirit Seeker a big, big thank you. I'm 99.9999% sure he's in prison now. Good. It's where they all need to be. It's where they all need to be.
That they've been there. I know they dug up the yard, and it's a big case, big thing here.
So you've been so now you've been Googling around following this case?
Yeah, and yes, sir. And then I seen your YouTube that you put out this morning. You know what I mean? And my picture right next to those guys, and that's when it really started to hit home. And I was like, I got to find everything I can do to help. I don't even care about me and my freedom anymore. I need to figure out what's going on here, and stop the lying and bring the truth to everything that I can and help.
Yeah. Do you think, based off what you've been seeing, do you think
Boy, that's
any of the Vaughns
lie.
are involved?
That's the biggest lie. He's only he doesn't care about his freedom there. You ran for 4 years, you piece of crap.
At first, my very first thought on all that, I thought, well, maybe just the mom and the dad got in a fight about custody, because I got in a fight with my ex before about custody, and I know how that can go. So I thought it was just kind of like one of those things from the beginning.
Stacy,
who gets who?
Stacy and Sarah went with Brandon to Brandon's mom's house.
And maybe the dad came and got the kid and took him to his house, and the mom got all mad and called the cops, and that's what I thought it was from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And then my second thought from there is that he might have went missing. He might have went out from his neighborhood because he was trying to go play with other kids like that, his age, and he might have got out in that field and went too far down. There's that Snake River right there by the Ontario-Idaho border right there. So I said, I hope he didn't fall in there and didn't know how to swim, or if he swam to the other side and got lost, or who found.
You see what he's doing right there? Oh, I'm afraid he didn't. I'm afraid he might have got in the field and went to that Snake River and got in the Snake River and drowned. The only way he was in that Snake River, Brandon, is if one of you put him there.
Found him or what, because there's a million bazillion possibilities that could happen right here.
Yeah. Inside the Wondra house, what does it look like inside there?
It's just a regular, like, double wide kind of a trailer house. Well, it's not a double wide, but it's a manufactured stick
A
built
modular home.
Just a regular 1, 2, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, and a garage house.
Do they have a basement?
And they have a crawl
Yep,
space under
exactly
in
on that.
their master bedroom. You walk in their master bedroom, take a right, and there's like this little crawl space right there. And I know that was open one day, and I went in there and looked.
Listen.
And there was like some kind of one of their cats that got down in there and pissed everywhere.
Oh, really? Why were you looking down there?
Because it was open.
Oh, you were just seeing what it was.
Yeah.
What about an attic?
No, the door was open, like they wanted their cats to go down in there or something. Or like that was another. I don't know.
So in in the house where Stacy and Sarah, or their bedroom, in the closet area, there is a closet, in the closet there is a hole that goes underneath the house. And he says that they had it open one day for whatever reason, and they was having the cats go down there to basically use it as their litter box. I found that interesting. Now, authorities, they did dig up the entire backyard, and they did, from what I understand, even dig under some of the house there. Who does that in a friend's house? Right, exactly.
I went in their bedroom and looked to the right one day, and then that thing was open. Their basement crawl space door.
Where's it at in their bedroom? Under their bed? Is it noticeable? Is it hidden?
It's kind of, you go in their bedroom and then you go straight into their master bedroom. There's a shower on the left, and then right when you turn to the right, there's just like this little hatch door that opens.
But if someone
exactly, Melissa,
just you could see the hatch from the wall, or you could tell something's there. I mean, is it hidden?
It's cut into the carpet, so it's like just a big piece of carpet with like a little square kind of cut out on two sides, and then it comes open.
Do they have a attic?
No, sir. I don't think they do.
Is their house? Well, at the time you were there, was it all dirty, messy, clean?
For the most part, it was pretty messy.
I think I think I saw a photo of you sleeping on.
So there's a photo. You guys remember God, I can't think. Delphi case where Richard Allen has a photo. He's taking a picture of himself, or someone's taking a picture of him, and you can see the pictures of the two girls, the two victims behind him. Sarah had the same thing. She was taking a picture of herself, and on the refrigerator there was a flyer of Michael Vaughan. Now, the interesting thing about that flyer that she had, it was done on day number 1. Day number 1. That specific, yeah, Richard Allen did that, yeah. But going back to Michael Vaughan, Sarah does that. She takes a picture, and you can see the picture of Michael Vaughan. But that specific flyer was only done one day. One day. And to me, they would also post about Michael Vaughan quite a bit. After he went missing, Sarah and I think even Stacy would post about Michael Vaughan quite a bit. I'll have to go back in some of my stuff, and I've got pictures of her posting about Michael Vaughan, talking about, praying for him, that he's going to be found and safe and all that. But I think that photo right there is just something. I mean, think about that. She took that photo. There's Michael Vaughan right there, and she posted it to Facebook. Talk about a cryptic, taunting bitch. Shame on you. And she literally talked about, you know, God this, God that all the time. She would go to the Dollar Tree and buy those dollar Bibles and hand them out for, to everyone, while she's married, sleeping with multiple men in her home, abducting and unaliving a child and burying him in the backyard. Got it.
On the couch.
Yeah, that's pretty much the main spot where I hung out, is just answered phones off the couch and went and drove taxis and went back to the couch, played PS4 and drank some beers and went to bed.
Who else was in that house that you've seen when you were there? Like anyone else that we haven't named that was inside that house ever?
Yep.
I think there was like three or four people at least when I was there that came there. And this one guy, he got in trouble for like a BB gun and some knives or something like that. He went outside the house because him and another person other than Tanner got in a fight with Sarah about staying in the house and God and religion and all that. And he went cruising around the neighborhood and he had like some kind of a knife deal. And he was threatening that if he doesn't get to come back in the house, then he's gonna like slice some people up or do this and that.
What's his name?
I'm not quite sure on that. It was just some guy that was kind of walking the streets of Ontario.
And they brought him to the house.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he was like a homeless guy in Ontario that they met one day and they just brought him back to his house.
Interesting. It does seem like it goes into a pattern of them just bringing people off the streets, or, people just, they feel like they want to help and bringing strangers into their home.
Yeah. So if something did happen, it happened like that. You know what I mean? Just people that you don't even know who the hell they are or what they're doing or what their motives are. And they just bring them in like their family. You know what I mean?
What were they all like? Would you all eat
Brandon, they did the exact same thing to you. They brought you in. They didn't know you from Adam.
dinner together? Who cooked? Like, did everybody fend for themselves?
No, Sarah. We'd go out shopping, Sarah and I, and then we'd come home and she'd cook a nice meal for Stacy and I and her and whoever was over there for a guest. That was the usual behavior.
Did Sarah use profanity?
She tried not to, but when she got really super mad, yes, sir, she was good at it.
What would she get mad about?
She'd just get mad about her house not being perfectly clean or things not being the way that she wanted them to be, and just a lot of OCD. She had a lot of OCD and things being just how she left them.
Would she get mad at others or mad at herself?
No, mad at others.
Because like Stacy would leave something out and she would get mad.
Yeah.
So right. So have you seen them arguing with each other?
Yeah, almost every day. She'd go around and he'd be making messes and she'd be cleaning it up and getting after him, trying to whap him with a pot and a pan, just like, you son of a bitch, clean your shit up or get gone.
So you seen her hit?
I don't see Sarah as an OCD clean type. Just my opinion. I mean, if there was a couple that is the closest version to human swine, it would be Sarah and Stacy Wondra. They are the closest thing to human versions of swine out there. They're despicable. Absolutely despicable.
Hit him with pots and pans.
Well, she didn't actually hit him, but if I would have been her, at him because sometimes he makes messes and he just don't care and he's kind of like a little pig in a pig pen, just kind of really sloppy.
Or
Did you ever see her actually hit him or him hit her?
No, they never did that when I was there. They were just like, they just talk back and forth, kind of getting like, oh, I love you, little Boo Bear. I love you, little Boo Bear. And they'd be back and forth. And they were just like jokesters, kidsters.
Did she actually try to hit on you, or is that true or no?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, she liked me. She was trying to get at me pretty good there for a long time. And I said, hey, listen, you're married. You know what I mean? We can't even be on the same couch chilling together doing this and that. And I'm not going to give you and Stacy a kid. And I'm not going to do that. I'll help you guys do taxi. And other than that, I'm going home. And that's what made him mad.
She actually said she wanted you to give them a kid.
Well, she said that before, and like when they were hanging out in Vegas, living in Vegas, that she said that she tried to do that with somebody else before, and they.
I'm going to show y'all something. 1 second. I'm going to show y'all something very important.
And I said, yeah, probably not.
Interesting. What were they doing in Vegas?
I think they just went over there and they had some friends or doing taxis over there.
I think Stacy might have a sister or a relative that lives in Vegas. You know anything about that?
No, sir, not to my knowledge.
So
I know that.
No, go ahead.
I know that they went over there and they did like a long distance taxis. That's like how they made their best money, because instead of like hundreds of dollars, it goes to thousands of dollars. So that's how they make their better money traveling across country.
All right.
Yeah, because right after. Okay. For one other question.
Guys, I want to show y'all this. Okay. Check this out. Check this out. So when Stacy, he came up on my channel a long time ago. And he was doing, I call it his tour. He said he wanted to prove to the world that he was innocent. So we asked him for some things. And he sent us to him. He sent us them. And this is his, I'm going to make it bigger so y'all can see it. This is, he did a screen recording of dates and times where he took pictures. And this is January 20th. I remember we're looking for like July and August stuff, right? But if you see here, let me go back here. Well, let me slow it down. No, it won't let me slow it down, I don't think. Okay. January 2022, October 2021. Okay, August 2021. July 2021. Now, look right here. There's a picture of Michael Vaughan, July 31st, 2021. Right? 1 second. Remember, Michael Vaughan went missing July 27th, 2021. This right here, let me take this down. Right here on the bottom, it's like 3 or 4 days after they abducted him and ultimately unalived him. Okay. Let's see here. June 2021. May 2021. I went all this with a slow tooth or fine tooth comb, I meant. This is June 2021 again. All right. July 2021. Again, there's these two. Here's this. And this might be a missing flyer of Michael as well. I can't really tell, but all right. This is what's interesting to me right here. This is what is interesting to me right here when he sent this. August 2021. August 6th, 2021. He is in Columbia River Gorge National and Scenic Area. Right? So some what 31 10 days later, week and a half later, they are in this national park. In Columbia River Gorge National Park. Let me look that up again. I've looked it up 1,000 times, but Columbia River Gorge National Scenic Area. That is in, that's in Oregon, isn't it? I'm pretty sure. Right? Let me see here. Map. Let me show you this right here. It's in Oregon, yeah. Which is honestly where in my opinion, I think they have him. Here's Columbia Gorge Scenic Park. It is very desolate. Girl Scout camp and all that. So here is Washington. Here is Oregon. It's almost in Washington. But if we zoom out here, right, they're in Idaho. Let's see how far that is. Let me see here. Let me look at this. They're from Fruitland, Idaho to Columbia River Gorge National Park. Driving directions. It's 4 hours and 5 minutes away. 4 hours and 5 minutes away. They said that they had a drive there, that they had to pick someone up. They may have, who knows, but I think Michael, they have him in Oregon. I think that is where Michael is, right here. Right here is where Fruitland is, right? And right here is where the national park starts. And technically, where does Brandon's mom live? I can't think. I just said it just a little bit ago, but there's too many names running through my head right now. Kuna? Is it Kuna? It's Walla Walla, Washington. Yes, there's some kind of camping areas. Yeah. Yeah, Kuna. Okay. All right, let's look at that, because that'll be even less time probably. Kuna, Idaho to Columbia Gorge National Park. Driving directions. That's same amount of time, actually. Same amount of time. So I guess it matters. Who calls a taxi to a state park? Right. Can they get a search warrant and go search the spot? From what I understand, they have. I think they've done spot searches and all that. But this is a national park. It could be literally anywhere. Literally anywhere. All right, so let's go back to what he showed us here, because it gets very interesting. I have a new program. I can do it frame by frame, and that's what I need to do on this, so I can. But August 6th, they are there. Let's see here. Saturday, July. Yep, look at there. This flyer right here, that is Michael. I see it now. Can you see it? You can see it's Michael. This is definitely Michael, but this is the flyer of Michael as well. All right. And sorry, I'm trying to. All right. And they take pictures right here at this scenic area. Now, they may have been just taking pictures because it was beautiful, or they may have been taking pictures to remind them of a location, if you get my drift. Brandy said there was only a set of amount of those flyers. Yes. And they only put them out for that one day. For that one day. Which is very interesting. All right. Let me see if I can. All right. You see, there's more pictures here. Let me see if I can get a. If I can get it. August. I think this is August 4th. It's so blurry because he's moving it so fast. Here's August 2nd of the two sows laying there in all of their hypertension lard capacity. And guys, I never really talk about someone's like that, but I don't care about these two. I have hypertension, so save it. And look here is a picture of a pew pew. Again, Stacy's not supposed to have one. All right. I can't remember where this says August 1st either. They were somewhere August 1st too. But look at this. Saturday, July 31st, 2021. They've got a picture of Michael, a specific missing flyer. They've got something with directions and a map right there. Then he's got a bunch of sticker with different sayings about FUCKING, danger, stupid kills. I sleep around, and it means it's got pictures of like a national forest. OCD, F it, keep your DICK beater and it's got a hand with a wrench in it with it crossed out. Here we're getting ready to go on the 28th. This was the day after, right here, the day after Michael Vaughan was taken. Yes, ICU's got the links for the meal program and stuff. Absolutely. But what are they doing? Looks like she's opening up like a bag or something. All right, this is very important right here. I've also got another video like this, but it's of him. Thank you, ICU, for dropping that. This is very important because this is the day, Tuesday, July 27th, 2021 is the day Michael Joseph Vaughan was taken from his neighborhood by at least 3 individuals. 4 are named in all of it. But on their way back, they are towing a car. That was the excuse. Hold on one second, y'all. So that day was on their way home. They're towing a car. They say the tow rope breaks, if you will, and they had to pull over. They show us where they pull over. You can go back to my Justin for All channel for all those interviews. And they pull over and they readjust the rope and all that. And then they say while they're doing that, they take a picture of Brandon's VIN number on his car, which you see right here. Now, when you're on the side of the road trying to, get the car hooked back up, you're not going to be taking a picture of the VIN in your door. This was purely just to say, oh, look what we were doing. Yeah, this is our alibi. It's part of their alibi. That's all. Nobody does that. Absolutely nobody. This photo right here is Stacy at the A&W. At the A&W and let me see if I can do it. A&W Fruitland, Idaho. Let me show you this right here. There is, hold on. I think there's 2 A&Ws. Isn't there 2 of them? 2001. There, yeah. Isn't there two fruit? Or isn't there two A&Ws? Let me see here. Idaho. Let's just do Idaho. One in Boise. Is it Napa? Is that the one they were at? 145 East Main, Napa. Maybe that was the one. Which one was it that he went to? Stacey, Sarah, do you remember? He wasn't at A&W. He lied. His location showed him elsewhere, and I compared the bricks. He was at the grocery store where Brandy worked, directly across from the splash pad in Payette, Idaho. That's what I was thinking. Well, but I thought there was an A&W there, because back behind that, that's what I'm saying. There's an A&W at that one. There's a street. Then there's where Brandy works. And then behind it, there's that park area. I think he got food there, and he went back there to look for kids. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But look, all of these.
Here is July 27th.
This is Stacy's voice that you're hearing right here. Him talking about all of it. This is his voice that he screen recorded and done himself.
In 2021. I'm not editing anything. There's the picture of the part. I go up here. You'll see the time.
All right. Now, again, this is July 27th, 2021. This is at 9:57 p.m. Remember, Michael was abducted around 7 p.m., 6:45 to 7 p.m., if I remember correctly. It's like a 15-minute window. It's Nampa, Nampa. I think that's how you pronounce it. And they say they are on their way back at this time, hauling the car. Now, ironically, the interview that JLR does with Brandon, he says they used a tow dolly to move the car. Stacy says they used just a rope, like one of those tow ropes, which is another big inconsistency. But if you look here, Tuesday, July 27, 2021, 9:57 p.m., they had already abducted Michael from Fruitland, took him to his mother's house, did what God knows what to Michael, and left his mom's house. And they took this picture to be part of their alibi. Shows their location, 9:57 p.m. They don't get into Fruitland till I think it's about midnight. What I find so eerie about this photo right here is 3 hours, just a little over 3 hours before this photo, Michael Vaughan is a perfectly happy, healthy little boy. Brandy and Tyler and the Vaughan family are a complete family. And then one thing happens. These monsters just happen to see a little boy out by himself. And that's all it took. And then, of course, Michael Vaughan's life changed and ended. And Brandy and Tyler and the Vaughan family and the community, but mainly obviously the family, their lives will never be the same at all. And destroyed.
Timestamp, right? I tap this, open a map.
All right. Gives it its coordinates right there.
I'm going to do this for you. And zoom in. I see all this. Idaho 55. This is Idaho 16. That's where we pulled off. Take all this. Take this Emmett Highway.
Oh, yeah, you can hear him breathing.
Like this.
And let me tell you something. This stuff that he did not help him at all.
Take this road, drops you through Emmett, Highway 52. Then we'll drop you into.
They apparently did not turn off their phone the day they abducted Michael Vaughan. How about that? Sure did, Spirit.
We follow this road all the way. And there is Payette. Hey? I go back. So there's that. This picture was when I was in Ontario.
Okay, he says Ontario. Under his name here, he's got Sexy Sarbear Sex something. You are so disgusting, Stacy.
After that, after I got back, take this photo.
Okay, that's okay. Here we go. So he's at. There's the park. See right there. This is the park where he was at earlier that day. Now, let me just show you this. Brandy, Michael Vaughan's mother, worked at this Albertsons. Worked at this Albertsons. I don't think he knew that at the time. But nonetheless, he is in this park, stuffing his face, and, in my opinion, looking for a child. Thank you, Lorraine. Thank you so much. Guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button. Would greatly appreciate it. Consider becoming a member of the Pearl family if you haven't yet.
This photo here. Open it.
3:37 p.m. Right? So remember, Michael is taken between 6:45 p.m. and 7 p.m. Yes, I remember you did this now. Now, credit goes to our friend Spirit Seeker for this. She made a great observation with this. This is the original picture. He says he's at A&W. This is the A&W brick at that location. And this is Albertsons, which is where Brandy works. Looky here. This looks more like Albertsons brick than it does A&W. No, it's not CP. That's Stacy Wondra. One of the people who unalived Michael Vaughan. Okay. Same type as CP in my opinion. Yeah. Not much difference. Not much. So there's that. Now let's go back to this video. Telling you, man.
Maps.
All right.
Kiwanis Park, which is right next to A&W. And if you look at this picture, you'll see this is A&W. This is where I'm at. There's A&W. See the sign. And that's where my car was. There's that for y'all. And that's all I got for that day.
There we go for that one. Now, I have another one that I believe he did here somewhere. I think it's this. It's a different one. Okay, look at this one. Look at this one. Let me show you what kind of creep this man is. Wait for this. All right. He's doing a screen recording again.
So here's my main screen. All right. I'm going to
Sick.
go up, scroll down to my photos. Right here, tap it. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to grab this little tab
All right,
bar because
let me go back. We got to go back. All right, here we go. Here we go.
All right. I'm going to go up, scroll down to my photos. Right here, tap it.
All right. You're going to look at some of these photos here. 1 second. Okay.
gonna scroll down. I'm gonna
All right. Look at this of what. Look at this photo of this meatloaf that they have. Look at this picture of this meatloaf they have right here. It is a baby that has eyes, and it's wrapped in bacon down here, but it's made to look like a diaper. They put like olives to make its eyes. Remember that, Melissa? That's creepy. Very creepy. I guess this was a woman that he was
grab
talking
this
to at the time.
little tab.
Okay, hold on. Right here. I have to be very careful.
This little tab.
Right here is a picture.
Grab this little.
I gotta go
tab.
like right there. I can't pause it in time. Is a picture of Brooks. Sabrina, thank you so much, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Thank you, lovies. Thank you so much. From Crime Lines and Lies, he saved her picture. Saved her picture there. Because Brooks, Stacy, that was the first person Stacy spoke to. Creepy.
Tab.
All right.
Bar.
April 2022.
Because nobody wants to see all of my other pictures. I'm gonna go.
Here we go. Trip, August 2021. This is where I believe the area Michael's at.
Here.
August 4th, August 1st. They've got Sarah, Wondra. They got a picture of something. This is like, this picture right here is like 4 or 5 days after Michael was abducted and taken.
Okay.
Again, he's got this is a scope for his pew pew that he's not supposed to have. Fruitland and home. Right here. Very interesting. August 1st. Nampa. Nampa. Nampa, Idaho. Look at here. July 31st again, Saturday. Michael Vaughn's flyer. He's got a map here and a picture of little Michael Vaughan. Okay, this is more clear here. Here is the day after they did something to Michael. Brandy and all of their lives changed forever. They're fucking around in the house, taking pictures. They have no soul. They have absolutely no soul, these people. What are they trying to prove with the pics of monkey? Well, it just shows you that, you know, they are involved.
So here.
All right, here it is.
So I'll open this one because apparently there's discrepancies. So open this one to show my location. Same time frame, same location. Open this. Same exact location. I'll even open this so you guys can see it. I see you all the way around. So you guys can see the direction. This area right here is where we pulled off. Okay. You guys
This
see
is where
that,
they said,
right?
this is where they, when they pulled off, they said the strap broke. Now, I don't know if a strap ever broke or not. It's possible. I think they may have been getting rid of something, cleaning out something. I don't know. No tears. He was doing it for me. Because we wanted to know where he was at. And he's like, I've got dates and stuff of my, your phone tracks, if you got your location on, it tracks where you've gone. And he obviously kept his phone on the entire time Michael was abducted, taken to the house, and they returned. Remember, they didn't get back till like midnight or maybe in 1:00 in the morning. By 9:00 the next morning, they are back at Brandon's mom's house, i.e., Michael Vaughan is in that house. But Brandon said he went to put his clothes in the dryer whenever they have a washing service at Stacy and Sarah's house where Brandon was staying. Can't make it up, man.
Same time. Okay, I'm back out of this. We go to the next picture right here. Tap the time frame. Same time. Same location. Open this up. Idaho 16. Same exact spot. You'll look and see. Same place. Okay, go back. And we'll go here. Same time frame, go up here. Same time frame, click here. Click here. And boom. Same exact place. Nothing's changed. All the same area. All right. Just to clear that up. So here's my main screen.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go up. Scroll down.
All right. So we're going to stay on top of this for sure. I want to show y'all something that I did. This is kind of unrelated to this case. What do y'all think about this? It's them in court the other day. This is my AI version of it. Oh my God. Isn't that something? It's on it. Bobby already spoke to John. I think it's pretty accurate, if you ask me. What is his charge? He was charged from outstanding warrants, and they've aged 10 years. They have. And I'm telling you, Cruella, damn, she's really aged. a lot. Okay, guys, I will be back. It is almost 6 o'clock now. I'll be back about 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm getting ready to set that up. Tonight, we're going to be talking about Sebastian, but we're also going to be talking about Michael Hung. It's very important. It is a case that is the most similar to Sebastian's case that I have yet to see to date. And it's interesting. Now, his parents are, saying, please, y'all need to be doing more. You need to be doing more. This is out of Washington State. It's a very interesting case. 21-year-old autistic young man came back from a walk, mom said, about 7:30 p.m. Mom says he goes straight to his bedroom. She goes to wake him up the next morning for school, and he was not in his bed. Not in his bed. There's no sign of him anywhere. No scent, nothing on camera, any of that. Debbie, if you have any information, please text it to me or email. Send it my way. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really do appreciate you. I'll see you guys here in just a little bit. Love you all so much. God bless each and every one of you. Bye-bye.